The mapping work that we do is called participatory mapping. It's different from conventional forms of mapping. It's basically people mapping their reality, people mapping their past, their present, and the future. So we do different kinds of mapping. We do sketch mapping. We do 2D mapping, two-dimensional mapping based on the map that we get from the government, a topographic map. We do participatory three-dimensional modeling. And we do a GIS-based mapping where we train people to use GPS, geographic position systems, and they go and they take the geographic position of the places that they think are important for themselves. And we put that on a map, and we produce it and we give it to them. So we use different kinds of mapping. The main purpose of mapping, again, is for people to map their reality and to map also what they see their future is. And that's how it is related to transformation. The way we do it is we would do map of the past. The past, as far as I remember, it can be 30 years, it can be 50 years, or 100 years. Some communities want to map also their ancestral map, you know? Even if they don't remember the reality of the landscape that time, but based on the stories and the legends that they hear from their parents, then they put it on paper. So it ranges. But we do map of the past, which is very much critical. And we discuss about the map. Mapping is a talking point, basically. We talk about the past. Then after deliberating on the past, we do map of the present. I did mapping in 8 African countries and also in Colombia, in Sweden to a little extent. And the story is the same. The present is chaos as compared to the past. So we will ask questions. You know, I said they are important for talking. So we'll ask questions. What has changed? You know, in terms of both the spatial, meaning the spaces, and temporal, you know, the seasonal change. What has changed? How? You know, why? So in that deliberation, that discussion, a lot of things would come out. And what's very much important is that mapping allows people to speak to something, not among themselves. Then you address conflict. You lower conflict because of that, because people talk about something beautiful out there, not among themselves. Then you lower the risk of conflict. And when you talk about map of the past, it's the elders who take the position, the elders. And the present generation will learn from the elders. So there is that intergenerational transfer of knowledge. And what we found out that nobody has a complete knowledge of the past and a complete knowledge of the present. So it's a mosaics of knowledge. So they fit that together. In the exercise of that, the identity comes out, and new forms of identity comes out. The social cohesion would increase, the understanding and knowledge about the past and the present would come. And it actually creates shock in people. When they compare the past and the present, it creates shock. They know that their land is degrading, but they ascribe that to God or to government, you know, that somebody not doing the right thing. So the shock is when they compare the past and the present, they would realize how much they have lost in terms of the critical natural environments like the rivers, the soil, the forest, the wetlands, and the wild animals. They will realize that they have lost many things. And it has happened because of mainly their action and also by the influence of the outside actors. So that shock is very much important. And based on that shock, then a new reality will come out, a new identity, a new realization. Based on that, then we do map of the future in 2 scenarios. One scenario is what would happen if business continues as usual? Yeah, what would happen? Where will we go? So they do map, they put it actually. So then that is chaos after chaos. It's a lot of chaos. Then another question is, what is the best future then? So they would put in the future their vision, a transformative vision. That's where the transformation comes from. Then you ask questions again. So if they want to go from this point to that point to a better future, then what's holding them from doing that? It is cultural or cultural practices. Is it policy? What's holding them? Or is it something outside of their environment, that there are government policies? So we ask those kind of questions. It's very difficult to answer, most of them, but they can predict. Then after identifying that, what shall we do to get to the better future? That's where the visioning and the planning would come on. So this is an excellent tool for transformation. That's what is participatory mapping. Basically, the main actors in this are local communities, if you do it at the local level. The communities are responsible, but we invite also government because they have to speak. Working with communities, empowering communities is one thing, but you have to bring the other actor, which is government. But what I found is also it's good to have a mediator between the two. That's where the local non-governmental organizations or the civil society organizations comes in. Some actors do mapping with the local communities. They leave with a map themselves, say thank you, bye-bye. Or they give them the mapping, but it stops there. But we have decided as a group that we don't do mapping if we don't make sure that whatever comes out is followed up. So what we did after the mapping exercises, we took local communities and local governments to an area where both the local government and the local communities have managed to mobilize the local community and have transformed the landscape in the social life, in the political and also the economic life of local communities. So they go there, they visit, and after those visits, they analyze, so what shall they do? So there, we do also the accompany, both the local government and the local people. And that accompaniment has resulted into the path into transformation. Sometimes they may want something big, So for example, in one of the communities, they wanted something to start a wheat processing factory. So that's beyond our ability. What we can do is to take that, to present it to other actors, and explore how that can be fulfilled, you see? So this is how things work then.